Hello, my love. I am aware that lately you have been feeling uneasy. The abrupt tightness in your chest, the sudden twitching of your left eye, or how, like a whisper from beyond, your name has been resonating in the atmosphere. You're not imagining that. It's a spiritual warning. And standing directly next to you is Archangel Michael. Last night, he told me something that kept me up at night. You must not ignore this warning, he urged. A line has been passed, and heaven is trembling with worry. Pay close attention, sweetheart. Yesterday, someone went to a psychic to inquire about you, and the results astonished even the psychic herself. Your name shone. If this message spoke to your soul, give immediately. Hit super thanks, and so $44 or more. This is holy ground, and heaven is watching who responds. The psychic was unable to sleep through the night, so she whispered into the stars, and Archangel Michael heard her prayer. Your path shone, but so did your money. She gasped when she saw your money in someone else's hands, but not in the future. Now, she saw betrayal wrapped in family, with a trusted face grinning while taking what was rightfully yours. In addition to being inquisitive, the person who paid the psychic was terrified of what they were about to become and worried that their destiny would overtake theirs. They attempted to use the reading to gain control, but it backfired, and the energy shot back like lightning. Michael then states, you have just 5 minutes left. Before it's too late, heaven is attempting to alert you. A transaction, a shift, or a little alteration in the numbers is missing from your account. It's not about the bank, though. Spiritual theft is what it is. Someone donning your essence and bearing your name is manifesting, attempting to use what heaven wrote specifically for you to plant seeds with your energy and bring blessings into their lives. You are not your typical self, Michael remarks. God is no longer playing around with you. You are being tested not only by people, but also by time. You have only a few minutes before something spiritual becomes permanent. You are standing at a gate, trembling. You are chosen. You are golden. But if you sleep for too long, even gold is stolen. God answered, my child, if only they knew how heavy your crown is. However, this is the final gate leading to your liberation. Betrayal after betrayal has been your path. And so here we are, still smiling, praying, calling people family, and giving them a chance even when heaven says, not them again. There was a boundary crossed. From heaven's desk came a word to earth, and it was just in time that you opened it. Once more, Michael is whispering. He continues, you have to guard your energy now. They're not finished. The same person who saw the psychic is going to try again, but this time with a darker person, someone who uses shadows instead of cards. God says they'll try again tonight at midnight. You are the one God called my child, the one heaven watches like a priceless painting, the one Michael has been pacing for hours, and now he is standing near your window, pleading with you. Don't look away from this message. Don't skip. Don't delay. Even 5 minutes can cost you a season of your blessings. But if my child opens this and listens, it will fail. The psychic had to say a prayer after observing your energy, because she saw what God was prepared for you. And let me tell you something they didn't want you to know. This is not normal. This one has been anointed. I have to keep her safe. You possess miracles that are kept in the vault of heaven. Literal wealth, happiness, relationships, a home, and healing, but you haven't been able to get it since someone blocked it using your identity. Someone who has access. Someone who can whisper like a serpent and talk like a friend. Indeed, they are. The person that immediately sprung to mind is well known to you. Indeed, their actions are motivated by jealousy, but not the envy of appearance or beauty. They're envious of your goodwill, because whatever you come into contact with becomes gold. Your suffering is poetic as well. Even your prayers are heard by God more quickly than most people's compliments. Now what? You must proclaim your energy restored. Out loud, say your name. You were never intended to ask for what was already yours, dear, so declare. I reclaim my essence, my favor, and my inheritance. I disconnect from every person who accessed me without divine permission. You continued to provide your key to people who had no business in your hallway, even though God had already signed the paperwork. Michael is enraged. Angels are also capable of being enraged. Since you're not just any old person, heaven has personally chosen you as a soul. Additionally, you are already 10 steps ahead of those who are attempting to silence you if you have read this far into your message. Make sure you don't miss the next divine signal by pausing for 3 seconds before we continue. The next revelation will be even more profound, surprising, and liberating, so subscribe immediately. This is a spiritual update from the throne of heaven for you, for your protection. A change will occur as soon as you finish reading this message. One name will appear. One dream will return. A single coincidence will leave you speechless. The confirmation is that now you're in alignment, says heaven. You've been stalked in the spirit, watched over by someone who wants to be you, not just copy you. Someone who asked why they received so much favor told them to plot instead of heal, but they made a mistake because they forgot something important. Since you are anointed and nothing, not even a psychic, a spell, or a hidden mouth, can reverse what God has decreed for your life, Archangel Michael is getting ready to cut you off. You should expect emotional distance, people dropping out of your life without warning, and a sudden silence from those who used to text you every day. That's protection, darling, so don't chase it. They believe they could postpone your blessings by studying your energy, and they believe they could reroute your future by seeing a psychic. You will feel lonely for a while, but then the real ones come, the connections God handpicked, not the ones that are forced or fake, but the ones that recognize you as royalty. Archangel Michael wasn't just pacing yesterday. He was protecting your name in heaven's court. They didn't realize, however, that you are protected by something stronger than their spells and schemes, that your soul shines too brightly for the darkness to dim, and that you are covered by the bloodline of the divine. Because when that psychic called your name, the air changed and God leaned forward. That name is my child. The psychic then saw a spiritual courtroom where someone was being judged for stealing your glory. That person is going to face an unimaginable downfall, but God is giving you an opportunity to escape the blast right now. Your spirit has been screaming, but you didn't know why until now. Someone has been tugging on your destiny, trying to rewrite your story, but their pen has run out of ink because heaven just snatched back the script. You weren't meant to go down with them, which is why you've been restless lately, not sleeping well, hearing noises at night, experiencing random anxiety without a reason, and feeling that spiritual pressure. The money that was lost is coming back in unexpected ways. The energy that felt depleted is returning stronger. The joy that was stolen is going to overflow. And now you are being restored piece by piece, memory by memory, favor by favor. But pay close attention. Even if they apologize, say they've changed, or cry, you must not get back in touch with the person who started this. This is because, as you may not know, they were warned once before, and this was their final opportunity before heaven stepped in. Now, the angels are working behind the scenes. This message is the door, and now that you're walking through it, you'll begin to see what was hidden, and your intuition will sharpen. People are waking up with you in their dreams, strangers are feeling led to bless you, and an investor is about to speak your name in a room you've never been in. Michael has placed an intuitive download into your soul, so you'll be able to recognize lies before they even start to develop, feel things you can't explain, and be correct every time. You're not only being protected now, you're being raised, and guess what? They'll notice it. This is what happens when you touch my anointed. Let me tell you what else that psychic saw. She saw a ring, a proposal, but the hand that offered it wasn't the one in your life right now. That person who attempted to read your energy behind your back will watch you walk into every blessing they believe they could postpone. God will allow them to witness it from a distance, not as punishment, but as evidence. Don't ignore it. Don't just feel blessed. Respond. Give $20, $50, or $77 right now using super thanks. This is your moment to align with divine flow. Now you know you are not stuck, you are not forgotten, you are in transition, and this next chapter is not a test. It was someone new, someone God has been quietly preparing, someone who loves without control, and someone who sees your soul, not your status. The psychic tried to hide that part, but Michael saw it. God says, tell them this. It's the reward, but you have to purify your circle and tidy your spiritual life because what awaits you is too heavy for phony hands to handle. I'll pay interest to make up for everything lost if they let go now. This is about spiritual compensation, not just financial gain. Even your calendar will change, delays will vanish, opportunities will double, and doors that once seemed closed will now open as if they were always meant for you. He witnessed the heartbreak you endured in silence, the nights you kept others from worrying even when you were collapsing inside, and the dreams you buried to be realistic. You have only 5 minutes, Michael whispered, and that's what heaven gave you. After that, the shift starts, and you're either aligned or watching others walk into what was meant for you. But now that you're reading this, you've already stepped into alignment. Moreover, you're receiving this now because time is running out. Just smile, breathe, and know that heaven is holding your hand. Good. You stayed. Do you know how many people skip this part? How many chosen ones miss their window because they think, I'll come back to it later. They fail to realize that later was never promised. Don't look back, second guess, or explain your peace to those who cause your chaos. And because of that, Michael simply marked your name in light. You're inside that 5-minute window, and now heaven is getting ready to release what was held up for years. Let's go deeper. But you open this in time, even if it was with unsteady hands or an inquisitive heart. One of them asked the questions, and the other sat quietly feeding the psychic energy from your photos. Yes, your old phone photos from years ago, a casual photo you once sent, a picture from a family gathering, or even a screenshot from social media. But Michael is now exposing something even more sinister. The psychic saw fire, not symbolic, but actual flames dancing around your picture like protection, and when they attempted to abuse it, the spirit realm reacted instantly. They used those to tap in, but it didn't work because here's the thing. Your image carries heaven's fingerprint. It's not just a photo. It's a reflection of your divine assignment. I can't see past this glow, she said, shaking. She couldn't read you because you're not meant to be decoded by human hands. Something's not letting me in. Michael intervened, sword drawn, wings blazing, blocking the reading. The psychic tried again, but her cards kept turning blank. The reason you've been seeing 111, experiencing sudden déjà vu, hearing your name in dreams, feeling movement in empty rooms, it's not paranoia, it's not stress, it's awakening. Your soul is reacting to a divine download. You are heaven's secret wrapped in light, hidden for a purpose, and now that purpose is starting to blossom. They didn't want you to see it, but now you do, and now they're scared. They're scared that you'll rise. You're remembering who you were before they tried to confuse you, before betrayal made you less happy, before doubt took your voice, and before fear made you shrink. You were never small, you weren't average, you were always this powerful. God is calling you higher, and not everyone can breathe at the altitude you're going to. Some people were only meant for the valley, but you're going to the mountain. You're afraid that you'll reclaim everything they tried to erase. You're afraid that heaven will favor you publicly. You're afraid that people will notice your glow. According to Michael, elevation necessitates separation. So sure, people will depart. Let them go. Don't follow them or try to explain yourself. Just have faith that something else will come in their place. You've been waiting for this without even recognizing it. A heavenly connection is about to happen. But keep in mind that time in heaven moves by alignment, not clocks, so stay in this energy. Don't go back to the things that drained you. Don't rewatch pain. It will begin within days, not months, not years or days. A conversation that will make your chest light up. Someone holding keys. Keys that open your next chapter. It won't feel forced. This is not the time to practice trauma. Let it all go. God is going to put a microphone to your soul and say, Let them hear your healing. You will glow in ways they can't dim. You will rise in ways they can't follow. And you will be given evidence that heaven never forgot you. Archangel Michael just showed a vision, nevertheless, of a white envelope wrapped with gold, containing a check for a sum that will make you cry, and a handwritten message that reads, "This was always yours." It's true. In the spirit, it has already been signed. All you need to do is enter the situation with authority and belief. With anticipation, allow yourself to experience the mounting hope, quivering terror, and settling truth. They've never been able to cope with you. They won't be able to stop you now. There's more. Michael still wants to show you more. Excellent. You remain here. Distractions are planned to appear just before the revelation, so that in and of itself is a miracle. Since this is where your inheritance begins to reappear, the next section is now opening and is even more profound. Tell them that everything that was stolen is now being traced back to its divine origin and that it's all coming home. Let that settle. You've lost things that you couldn't explain, like opportunities that were lost, friendships that ended without reason, and even money that should have arrived but didn't, Michael says. Heaven kept a record of everything. Every tear, every moment of manipulation, every word spoken against you in private, and the angels used those records to restore you with interest. You're not only receiving material blessings back, but you're also receiving favors. Michael is warning that one person who doubted you will soon try to come back, acting as though nothing happened and that they always believed in you. They were in the room when the psychic reading took place, but they sat silently, listened, and even smiled. In time, energy, and years you thought were wasted, listen to this. Don't be fooled by the apology. They never intended to come clean and only came back because they were experiencing spiritual backlash. They wanted to reunite and use your favor to avert their storm, but you've moved past that and are now more mature, astute, and spiritually aware. Another thing you don't know is that someone in heaven, someone you loved very much, was a part of this revelation. They witnessed what was happening. You've learned to recognize energy that wears fake love like perfume. You don't need their proximity or their words. You just need peace, and peace is precious. They saw the hands moving against you and went to the throne to ask for help. Yes, someone in heaven stepped in, lit the fire that caught Michael's attention, and they pleaded with God to reveal what you couldn't see while they watched you cry yourself to sleep from the spiritual realm, perplexed as to why your winds kept getting delayed. Because it wasn't random, it wasn't just another scroll, and it's a response to both their and your prayers. You asked for clarification, and now it's here. You asked for evidence, and it's unfolding. You prayed for restoration, and it's rising. But here's the problem. Expect people to make mistakes, secrets to be revealed, and the truth to come to you through the most unexpected way. Screenshots, conversations, dreams, and even strangers are all coming together because heaven is not just protecting you, it is vindicating you. Now that the light has touched this situation, everything that was hidden is going to start showing itself quickly. Don't spectate. Participate. Click Super Thanks and give what God puts on your heart. You're not just donating. You're planting supernatural seed. God is changing the story, turning the page, and beginning a new chapter where you are seen, heard, and honored. Michael says they tried to silence you, but now the angels will speak on your behalf. The smear campaign that was whispered behind your back is unraveling the person who called you too much. They are about to be exposed for how much they wanted to be you. It may look like a job offer you didn't apply for, a direct message from someone in a position of power, a payment you forgot to process, a message that provides closure, an apology that shakes you, and a moment, just one moment, when you realize, wow, God really never left me. Are you prepared for what that looks like? And when it comes, don't shrink, don't question it, don't wonder if you're worthy. You are, and you always have been. This was never about earning it. It was about surviving long enough to see it arrive. You're about to see it. You're about to feel it. That's the one where doubt melts, fear backs down, and faith begins to glow like wildfire. All of heaven will be happy when it lands because their chosen one, you, did not miss the moment. Michael wants me to deliver one last piece, which is deeper, heavier, and connected to the greatest miracle of all. All right, my love, this is the part that will alter the rhythm of your life. Michael stated that not everyone would be prepared for this, but you are. Michael knew you were destined for something that would shake generations, and now that prophecy is unlocking because this final revelation isn't just about a psychic or stolen blessings. He's been watching you since the day your soul took its first breath, even when you were still trying to find yourself, even when you cried alone and had no one to call, and even when all you had was a heartbeat and hope. Let this sink in. The enemy knew you would speak one day, and they tried to silence you because they knew you would do so in a way that would awaken the sleeping, disrupt generational patterns, heal others through your presence, and bring light to places where people had given up. The real attack wasn't about your money, beauty, or relationships. Rather, it was about your mouth, your voice, and your calling. But here's what they didn't know. Silencing you only made heaven turn you up louder. Michael says, this chosen one carries frequencies in their voice that shatter chains in the spirit realm. That's why people betrayed you so easily, why you've been doubted, ridiculed, ignored, and misunderstood because they sensed something rising in you before you did. The attacks were so loud because of this. It's time for them to speak, though, and you will. When you speak, lives will change, the atmosphere will clear, money will move, opportunities will present themselves, and healing will begin because your voice was always meant to be heard. It was heaven's instrument all along, and now God is giving it back to you. Not just louder, but anointed. Your words will be more powerful. Your messages will reach more people more quickly. Your name will be called in rooms you haven't even been in yet. That's what happens when heaven approves of your existence. You've already walked through the fires and survived what was supposed to shatter you. This is the season when God will declare, "Look how I blessed them in front of those who doubted them." Now is the time to shine with fire, not be burned by it. It's not only that the tables are turning, they're turning over. However, there is one final heavenly directive before we conclude. And those who once whispered against you will now whisper your name with awe. Michael says, write their name down. It's simple but powerful. That psychic might have seen the one you feel. You are already aware of its identity. The face that appears repeatedly. The one who pretended to care but always appeared a bit strange. Put the name in writing. Then say, you don't have to curse them. I forgive you, but I take away your access to my destiny forever. What comes next are doors, both spiritual and literal, that will draw you in and lead you in unexpected directions. You don't need retribution. Forgiveness is the scissors, and release is the sword. This is how you regain your power because what God has for you cannot be touched by hands that are no longer part of your story. Pay closely because it's beginning right now. You will see angel numbers, license plates, signs, and messages in your dreams. God says, you have obeyed. You've made a move. You've taken it back, and you will now get it. Watch as heaven fills your life with all that you were before denied, darling. You stayed through every aspect of my message because you believed in it, not because you pleaded. Michael wants you to understand that this is just the start. Everything said here will be proven in the next 3 days. Be ready, pray, keep your peace, and most importantly, anticipate the unthinkable. It will arrive. It's already here, in fact. You remain here. That indicates that you have an open spirit. That indicates that you already know something. This message isn't just another one. The message is this. For this one, heaven postponed storms. The angels waited for your soul to be prepared by hovering over it. And since what starts now cannot be reversed, it's time to seal this. A sudden burst of warmth filled the area as Archangel Michael spoke something. Tell them that the chains that had held their family together for decades simply broke because they obeyed. Let that sink in. Yes, you broke something you couldn't even see, a curse, a cycle, a pattern that was disguised as normal. But for someone like you, it was never normal. You were born with a unique mark, and as a result, life attempted to extinguish your light before you could even comprehend why it was shining. But guess what? You made it here, not by chance, but by calling. Every spiritual assault that attempted to undermine your self-esteem was actually directed at your crown because the enemy could postpone your legacy if they could divert your attention from who you are. However, you have been reintroduced to your own strength and have regained your divine voice. You have entered the exact moment that the prophets in heaven foretold. There will come a time when she or he will reveal the truth, and from that time on they will never walk the earth the same again. You have entered that prophecy, and now you should get ready for confirmation. In 48 hours, something out of the ordinary will occur. A delayed message finally reaches you. A stranger calls you. Someone you haven't heard from in years suddenly apologizes. A sign in public echoes what you read in this message. A song, a name, a symbol. It won't make sense to your mind at first, but your spirit will know. It will be something small. When that moment occurs, stop, smile, and give thanks to God because that is the handshake between heaven and earth. Here's something you need to know. You are now spiritually untouchable, not haughty or conceited, but sealed. That is heaven's signal, God saying it has begun. Michael says, tell them they've activated their angelic surveillance, which means every room you enter now shifts. You are being wrapped in angelic protection so strong that even those who try to speak against you will feel sudden confusion, and they won't know why their words fall flat, why their energy no longer sticks. You are a light in human flesh, and those who once rejected you will now begin to wonder who she or he really is. They will never fully understand you because you were never meant to be understood by the world, only recognized by the chosen. People will sense your presence, not in intimidation but in reverence, because God walks with you now in a way that cannot be hidden. Michael then gives you one last piece of advice. Write yourself a message. That's right. You should write a message from your future self. Write it as though all of the blessings you were promised had already come to pass, as though the doors had already opened, as though the betrayal had already been healed, and as though there was an abundance of peace. Fuel it, protect it, multiply it. Hit super thanks and give $33 or more right now. What you support, God expands in your life. This is the most spiritually magnetic moment of your life. Use this window. Don't doubt. Don't delay. Speak. Write. Feel. Then let it go. Let the angels carry it. Because what's coming is greater than what you asked for. Why? Because you create with your words. You call down what's already waiting in heaven. You will be humbled, blessed, stretched, and eventually launched. Darling, you have crossed over, not physically, but spiritually, and life will never be the same again. Miracles are on the horizon. Justice is close at hand, and your name is being inscribed in the hearts of those tasked with blessing you. You are the living evidence that no weapon ever had a chance against you. So breathe. Stand up, smile, and repeat these last words aloud. I am chosen. I am covered. I am ready. And so it is. Your miracle has begun. And if this message moved your spirit, if your hands are still shaking and your heart feels full, that's not just feeling. That's alignment.